Good morning, class.
Good morning.
TGIF.
Yeah.
Let's hear TGIF.
Woo!
Yes. Yes, it's Friday in Guam. And we're all happy it's the beginning of our semester here. And we're working on Europe, which is our first region. We started with Europe this semester. And so we talked about the regions first. And we talked about how the world's divided up into regions, which really are flexible because they were determined by us. And so we look at it as something that might change over time and does change over time. And so we're really looking at a snapshot of the world right now as we see it, circa 2016. And the snapshot of the world, the general regions that we have. And now we're going to look at Europe's subregions. So subregions, again, are taking the region and just general areas that we've determined that have different culture, different flavor, and we'll do this with Europe. So let's go ahead and go over our generalized mental map as currently agreed upon in the world in Europe. So let's go ahead and start with the core. Now we've already talked about the Industrial Revolution and how the sparking of the Industrial Revolution created a pattern, a settlement pattern, and an economic pattern that is considered the core of Europe, and how it spread out from England and from London and spread out. So the core would be what you might expect. So the subregion of the core would be this mainland part of the core, and also we have this what we may call offshore core of these islands. So this would be the core. So let's just quickly go over the countries of the core, starting with Ireland, the UK, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, or Benelux, Germany, right? Austria and Switzerland. Is that it? Oh yes, we do. Well, there's some microstates too. Thank you. For our purposes right now, and for what you'll be tested on, which you're really interested in, I'm sure, we'll stick with the major states, and we won't cover microstates. But yes, there are microstates too, and that's a very good thing to bring up. And a microstate is a very small piece of land that is a state, usually within a state. Good, thank you. Okay, so these subregions of Europe, this is what we will start with today. So what we usually look at is, why did we choose this as a subregion? So what we might think of is, what are the major flavors or attributes of this subregion? And core areas usually have pretty much similar reasons for why they are the core. So there's more population, right? There's more people in the core than in other parts of Europe. What else is there more of? Think about the Industrial Revolution.
More jobs.
Yes, there's more jobs. There's more infrastructure. There is more cities, more roads, higher GDPs too. Very high production, a lot of going on with the economies. So core areas, and they can be also, they can function as central places or like a hot spot for the whole rest of the region and also connection for the rest of the world. So there are major cities such as London and Paris that will act as connectors for the rest of the world. And that's really important today as our world has become more and more connected. And Paris and London are very important. They're not the only important cities, but they would act as a global nexus for what's going on in the rest of the world. Okay, good. So that helps us, understand how, that also can help us understand how we determine what is a region. So if this were to change, it could shift. And the core could actually shift, right? So for now, this is where the core of Europe is.